Previously on the Ron Van Dam Show.
If you're going to sleep in the same room with me, down the back of my throat, I know what I'm doing. It's not my first rodeo. What the hell does that mean, by the way?
And now, today's episode.
On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Wonderful. That's great.
Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, happy Mother's Day. Whether you're a mother, a father, a dog, or a cat, happy Mother's Day. It's on the calendar, so we got to do it. It's time to honor your mother. That's the person who gave you free housing when you were just a fetus. She had to stop smoking. She had to stop drinking. That's a lot for a person to do because of you. That alone is a reason for a holiday. And then this lady raised you, put up with all your bull crap through your adolescent teenage years while you were having fits and tantrums. She had to sit there and not pull her hair out. That's a lot to expect from a human being. Some mothers weren't very good. They were like bad mothers. They abandoned you. They abused you. Those aren't included in this holiday. Know that when you were an infant, some of you sucked on your mother's breasts in order to get breast milk and get nurtured. I know. That's a lot. That's a lot of milk. And then guys grow up, they go to strip clubs, and they continue to suck on breasts. Ooh, Ron, that was a little much. That was a little over the top, and I did not request the children to leave the room. I am so sorry about that. You should know by now. But oh my God, get the children out of the freaking room right now. They don't belong in the same room with you. Not while you're listening to this stuff. Oh, I'm so sorry I did not warn you. There are no warning labels on this thing. When you're watching a TV show where the subject matter might be too mature for children, it says it on the screen. It don't say it on the radio. So I apologize. Hey, here's an interesting idea. Next time you get called for jury duty, if you do, if you get called for jury duty and they say you're required to show up at this courthouse to perform jury duty, just don't show up. Yeah, because apparently, according to the Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, if you receive an order to appear somewhere, you don't have to go. That's what happened to William Barr. The House Judiciary Oversight Committee requested and told William Barr that he was to appear before them to answer questions about the Mueller report. And Attorney General Barr said, I'm not going. So he ignored the demand and the subpoena, and he's just fine. Nobody's doing anything about that. I mean, they might try to hold him in contempt of court, but he ain't going to jail. So, I mean, this is America. Nobody's above the law except the president and the attorney general. What a wonderful country or kingdom we live in. I always thought quite comfortably that nobody in this country is above the law. Nobody. Whether you be a poor person, a rich person, a famous person, or an unknown, nobody is above the law in this country. Oh, that's not true. The president is above the law. He cannot be indicted for anything. And apparently the attorney general, not either. No, can't. Not while you're in there. Not while you're president, not while you're attorney general. I also didn't know that the attorney general of the United States doubles as the president's lawyer, personal attorney. I didn't know that. Ladies and gentlemen, democracy is slipping out of our hands like our palms are greased. It's disgusting. Anyway, I'm just wondering if I ignored a subpoena from a court and I didn't show up, I believe I would be arrested. Apparently not the case. Not for certain other people. And of course, the old adage, which really bugs me, is if you have money, you can buy your way out of anything. You can buy the best attorneys. You can buy your way out of a jam. You can settle lawsuits if you have a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money, like all of us, you screwed up that proverbial ass. Kids out of the room, I warned you. The fact that the Trump University lawsuit, many students sued Donald Trump because it was a phony university. It wasn't what they said it was. They gave the money and they wouldn't give the money back because it wasn't what they said it was. Rather than Trump being arrested and such, he paid them off. He said, well, let's settle this out of court. I'll give you a certain amount of money. I'll give you money and you be quiet and you shut up and you can't say anything. I'm going to pay you off. And they said, sure, because they thought they might lose because it's Donald Trump who has more power than anybody, legally and money-wise. So, bottom line, if you have money, you can settle lawsuits and keep yourself out of jail and keep yourself out of trouble. I guess you can also go around threatening banks and other places not to divulge your personal information. Apparently, Trump doesn't have a Facebook account. Otherwise, we'd all know what's going on with him. Hey, when you're president of the United States and you don't let people see your financial returns and your tax returns, that's not too transparent, Don. That's not the transparency thing you were talking about. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't care for that man at all. He makes me throw up. He has no heart. He's unethical. He's a moron. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I have in front of me, Jerry, I have some quotes from Donald Trump's book, Art of the Deal, which he wrote quite some decades ago. There was a co-author. I don't believe Donald, as I said yesterday, I don't believe Donald wrote this book because I don't believe he can write. If you've ever heard him talk, you know that he can't write, that his mind is not capable of putting a full sentence together. So I don't think he wrote this book. I think he put his name on it with the other guy. Again, with the money, you know. Hey, write the book for me. I'll tell you some stuff. You write the book and I'll give you money. Okay, fine. And say I wrote it. All right, whatever. Okay, here's some things that kind of gives you insight as to why Donald is such a despicable character and is yet the president. This is what he says on bad press, the press, the enemy of the people. From a pure business point of view, the benefits of being written about have far outweighed the drawbacks. It's really quite simple. The funny thing is that even a critical story, which may be hurtful personally, can be very valuable to your business. Wow, that's exactly what he believes. In other words, if Trump stays prominent in the news, whether it's good about him or bad about him, that's to his benefit because it increases his value. Not financial value necessarily, but his value as something that is big and listened to. Wow, that's weird, huh? On flexibility, Donald Trump says in Art of the Deal, quote, I never get too attached to one deal or one approach. For starters, I keep a lot of balls in the air because most deals fall out, no matter how promising they may seem at first. Yeah, Donald, most balls do. Here's the most, on critics, this is what Donald Trump says, Art of the Deal about his critics. The way I see it, Donald says, critics get to say what they want about my work, so I should be able to say what I want about their work. And he does. He says about everybody's work. Here's the most revealing part of the Art of the Deal, and this is on the subject of exaggerating facts and exaggerating stories. This is what it says in the Art of the Deal, and I quote, the final key to the way I promote is bravado. I play to people's fantasies. People may not always think big themselves, but they still can get very excited about those who do. That's why a little hyperbole never hurts. People want to believe that something is the biggest and the greatest and the most spectacular. I call it truthful hyperbole. It's an innocent form of exaggeration and a very effective form of promotion. He's admitting that he exaggerates. And when you exaggerate, you lie. Also, in this book, he uses the word hyperbole like twice in the same paragraph. Donald doesn't know what that word means, much less able to spell it. That proves he didn't write this book. Donald's admitting that he's a liar, that he says things that aren't true. He stretches the truth to make it bigger than life because it fascinates people. That's what he's doing now. Here's what Donald says in Art of the Deal about fighting back, and I quote, when people treat me very badly or unfairly or try to take advantage of me, my general attitude all my life has been to fight back very hard. The risk you'll make a bad situation worse, and I certainly don't recommend this approach to everybody. But my experience is that if you're fighting for something you believe in, even if it means alienating some people along the way, things usually work out for the best in the end. Donald! Crazy, man. This is what he says about competing in the Art of the Deal. Quote, I'm the first to admit that I am very competitive and that I'll do nearly anything within legal bounds to win. Sometimes part of making a deal is denigrating your opponent. Donald! You're so revealing in this book. If you ever want to see what goes on in the mind of Donald Trump and has always been there, read Art of the Deal. It exposes his thought patterns and just how despicable a human being he really is, all to put himself on a pedestal. It's an amazing book. It's the Bible of crap. It's the way you should never be if you want to live with other human beings. get along and have compassion. It is not Donald Trump that is the scariest part of this whole thing. It's the fact that a con man like Donald Trump, a phony, manipulating individual, can get away with it. And it's the fact that there are so many Americans living in this country who can be duped by that. In politics, and this has always been the way, it's been the way in politics since the beginning of politics. You get up in front of people and you promise them something that they don't have. And if you can con them enough to believe you, they will vote for you. In almost all cases, you are not able to deliver what you're promising, and you know it when you say it. That's called deceit, manipulation, and that's what this country apparently is all about. And then you take it to the next level and you get into autocracy, communism, kingdoms, and rulers. Okay, that's enough politics for today. I think I've thoroughly bored you with that. Anyway, happy Mother's Day. I'm all over the place again. I am all over the place. It's funny, in real life, I'm not all over the place. Put a microphone in front of my face, I'm all over the place. Happy Mother's Day to mothers. You carry a great burden upon this earth, and I'll tell you something. The difference between man and a woman often is compassion. And I respect compassion in every sense of the word, and I respect women for that, at the very least, that they are compassionate, that they use their brains and their hearts in unison. Not to say that men don't do that as well, but women, because they are the nurturing type, are more successful at it and more real and genuine. And I respect women all over the place because I think that, I don't know. And I don't think they have one of my ribs. That's why I'm scared to sleep in the same bed with a woman. I want to wake up in the morning, hey, I'm missing a rib. What's with that? Read the Bible, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the program. We have a couple of interviews today. One is about Mother's Day, because it's just like, what do you get the mother? What do you get the mother? Well, you need something a little bit different, some different ideas. And with this age of technology and computers and stuff, there's a lot of different ways to do this. And there's an old trick that can be kind of disguised as a new trick, and it works really well. We're going to talk about that. And also today, we're going to talk to a grill master with the Weber Grill Company. Everybody knows Weber Grills. I mean, they are the big grill name. And who better to give us some great recipes for grilling and to get started in the season of the grill. Season of the grill. Okay, let's get started. We're going to take a little pause here because I have to take a sip of water. I still have allergies. I don't know where the hell they came from. I never had them before, but I got them now. So we'll take this break. Would you like a beer before we talk about grilling?
When you reach for a beer, what are you looking for? The finest malts, grains and hops. An artisan ale that represents a modern take on traditional brewing techniques that master brewers have refined and treasured for years. A true beer drinking experience. Or like most of us, are you just looking to get fucked up on the cheap? Well, if you're like the rest of us, congratulations, your beer is here. It's Falkenholter. It's not a great beer. It's not even a good beer. It's a beer that's $4 a case, and it's strong enough to melt the chrome off a trailer hitch. So kiss your liver goodbye and say hello to Falkenholter. It's beer.
Hey, Ron. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Jamie Purviance is with us now. He is a grill master with the Weber people, and when you're thinking about grilling, I guess there's not more of a name in grilling than Weber, so that's pretty cool. So, it's pretty good, huh? So you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, you're doing great. Just keep on going.
Thank you. I'll do the whole tour for you if you want. Because I actually love this subject matter. I was looking forward to speaking about it because I just love doing it. Okay, so grilling, man. This is like every year. Grilling seems to be getting a little bit more gourmet-ish.
Yeah, it can be. I think people are understanding how to do more things with the grill by itself, and also there's just a lot of new accessories that allow people to do different stuff than they might have done, 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. Now,
so, for example, things like a pizza stone, turning your grill into an outdoor pizza oven, grill pans so that you can put things right down on the pan without them falling through the grate.
Right.
And then there's just a bunch of new techniques that have developed along the way, and that's really the emphasis of Weber's Ultimate Grilling is the techniques. So, if you like to do a steak, sure, you can put it right over direct heat and grill it up just fine that way. But, what about the reverse sear? Have you heard about that technique?
No, not at all.
Where you start the steak over a very low temperature, over indirect heat. So you're kind of slow roasting it for a good 20 minutes or so. And then at the very end, you crank up the heat of the grill and sear it over direct high heat. The advantage of that is that you don't overcook the top and the bottom of the steak like you do in the kind of traditional method.
Yeah.
So when you cut into it, you get this really wide swath of juicy red meat.
Wow.
So that's the reverse sear. That's one of over 250 techniques in Weber's Ultimate Grilling.
Wow. Yeah, I'm always confused as to when the meat, whether it be a steak or a hamburger, is actually done without cutting into it. And I know you're not supposed to do that because the juices are going to run out. And I don't want to go sticking meat thermometers and things. That's like an art in itself, knowing when something is done at what level.
Yeah, it is something that takes a little practice, a little experience helps. Although I would encourage you to go ahead and use the meat thermometer. I think there's a misconception out there that, these pieces of meat are like balloons or water balloons. They're going to bust open if you poke it with a meat thermometer. That's just not the way that meat is constructed. So nowadays, too, the thermometers, they're very slim. And if you get that sensor right in the middle of the meat, it will give you a really accurate and really important piece of information about how far along that piece of meat is. Some of them now you can actually stick in when the meat is raw, and then you just put it on the grill, and it'll communicate with your smartphone. So you can be looking at your phone to see what the internal temperature is, and it'll even beep. You can set it up so you tell me when it's medium rare. It'll beep at you, and then it's time to take it off.
Right. I think that's going a little too far. That's like calling your hot dog on the phone. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me ask you a question before we get into the fun part of this. On one hand, I've heard grilling is extremely healthy because fat doesn't have a chance to collect. You're not cooking in fat. And then but then I hear that, you got the carbon buildup on the meat. I mean, which is accurate?
Well, I think, grilling is a very wide sort of concept of cooking. I think you can do it in healthy ways and unhealthy ways. Okay. So what I try to do in the cookbook is show people the healthy way to do it. So how to sort of brown the meat without actually charring it and developing some off flavors. I happen to have a wife who's a family physician, so she watches pretty carefully what we eat and how we eat, and she's always making sure that I do it right, and I just sort of relay that information in the book. And I should also mention that part of that means sort of grilling more plants. I think that's one of the changes in grilling today is that it's a lot more sort of plant-based grilling, so more vegetables and fruits, and you'll see all that in the book. It's a huge section on vegetables and sides.
Now, for a second, let's talk about the book. There is a Bible of barbecue, and it's called Weber's Ultimate Grilling, a step-by-step guide to barbecue genius. I like that phrase, barbecue genius. I would love to be called that myself. By the way, I don't wear aprons, but that's besides the point. So, all right. So this is over the years, as I mentioned, it's become more advanced. People used to make their sauces and their vegetables inside, and the meat would be the only thing that goes on the grill. But that's not the case at all, right?
No, not for a lot of people. Certainly not for me. I think people are coming to an understanding that the grill is basically an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
And you can do so many things on it if you understand how to use direct heat versus indirect heat, even how to use a side burner. So there's really no reason to be going back into the kitchen. Anything that you can do on your stovetop or in your oven, you can do on the grill, and it's probably going to be better because it'll have the flavor of the grill, and you'll probably be happier because you're outside, kind of relaxing as opposed to just cooking in the kitchen.
Well, you can also be a part of the party at the same time without being stuck in the kitchen. What about equipment-wise? The grills themselves, the equipment thereof, that's become more advanced. Is that an investment by people, or are they still going with the little thing that you put on a cement block?
Well, I'm not quite sure I know what you mean there, but I will.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
Grill prices, like a lot of things, have been going up through the years. The Weber grills tend to be an investment. I mean, the charcoal grills are still relatively inexpensive, but they're good investments in that they are built to last for at least 10 to 15 years. I think what a lot of people find out, particularly in beginners, they come out of college or they get their first home and they buy a cheap grill for $100 or something.
Exactly.
Then they have to replace it after the season because the thing rusts out or the burners don't turn on anymore. So it's probably better. It's definitely a better financial investment if you can afford it to get a good, solid, durable Weber grill, as soon as possible.
I'll go further than that because I've gotten those cheap $100, $125 grill things. They last a couple of years, but they do start rusting. And then I did notice that when it flames up, I'm seeing little rust pieces floating up into the air, and I'm thinking, that can't be healthy.
No, it can't be healthy. And it can't be fun. I mean, grilling is supposed to be a good time, right? You're out there. Things are supposed to work. Things are supposed to be enjoyable and taste good. So it makes sense to invest up front and then just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Okay, very quickly, tantalize me so I get into the grilling season here because it's just about to begin. What's a recipe that will just knock the socks off of people?
Well, let's see. We were talking about steak earlier. If you like a good New York strip steak, in and of itself, it can be great. I do one with this roasted garlic gorgonzola butter, which is really decadent and extremely good. You don't have to use a lot of this butter, but a little bit of it adds so much flavor and complexity. To me, that kind of defines what summer's all about. But if you want to go a little bit lighter, doing some portobello mushrooms that have been stuffed with grilled Swiss chard and feta and breadcrumbs and then kind of roasted over indirect heat. Really nice vegetarian, healthy dish to do. I do a tandoori cauliflower with a mint chutney, which is really, really nice, where you coat the whole head of cauliflower with this kind of yogurt and spices and herbs. It's very striking. It turns out sort of golden on the outside and then white on the middle. Wow. People they're dazzled by that kind of stuff. And again, the thing about this book is that you can see exactly how to do it. I think with a lot of books, you just get in the written text, but this book has over 750 photos, so you can really see step by step, which changes, I think, the whole attitude. It's like, oh, okay, that is not that difficult at all. I can definitely do this. Shows me how to set up the grill, shows me how to prep the ingredients, shows me when it's done. It makes it easy.
The book, also in the Bible sense, has tips and tricks. You discuss the master of 4 T's of grilling. Those are very important to know. So pick up the book, you get all that inside information. And as Jamie said, there's nothing like a steak on the grill. There's just nothing like it. It's Weber's Ultimate Grilling, a step-by-step guide to barbecue genius. It's on sale now. Where can we get more information about it?
Well, you can come to my website, jamiepurviance.com, or find me on Instagram, also Jamie Purviance, and try some sample recipes on the website and send me a note, send me your questions. But the most important thing is just get out there and enjoy the weather when it's good.
Yes, well, even when it's... I've actually barbecued in the rain. I don't care. I don't care at all. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, and the grill doesn't care either,
No,
so good for you.
Yeah, well, it helps steam the vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Jamie, it's been a pleasure. I love talking food, and you've been a lot of fun. And pick up the book, everybody, and make this a season of grilling that you'll never forget. Thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Ron.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you know that there is one item that can not only increase your home's beauty, but its value? That would be placemats. Hello, I'm George Karonapikopoulos, owner of George K's Wholesale Placemat Warehouse, your one-stop for all your placemat needs. We have a placemat for every room of your house. That's right, placemats are not just for the dining room anymore. Anywhere you might make a spill, or maybe where you eat, like in front of the TV. I do it all the time like you. You want a placemat. We have fancy placemats like in bamboo or teak. That's right, teak. Nice plastic laminate ones for no stains, even blue. We can custom make you placemats in as little as 2 weeks. Come to our showroom at the intersection of Route 27 and the Holbrook Turnpike. You're going to like what you see. Your placemat is waiting for you at George K's Wholesale Placemat Warehouse.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Shelley Hunter is here. She's the gift card girlfriend. May I call you that?
Of course.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Mother's Day this weekend, big stuff, because if you don't do something about it, you're going to be in big trouble. So it's important.
Right.
And no matter what we do, no matter what gift it may be, there's a card that goes with it. And this is one of the American dilemmas of our time, as to what to do card-wise. And I know you have an answer for that.
I always have an answer for that.
Yeah. So what do we do? What do we do that's something different than the everyday card thing?
Sure. Well, you know what? The most important thing to think about when gifting is about the person themselves. So don't think, some people use like a gifting occasion to, convey a message, to get across something they want mom to be doing. And that's not really a gift. You want to be able to think of, what is mom into? So does she like shopping? Does she like fashion? Does she like beauty? Does she like gardening? What does she like? And then look for a card. And I'm talking about a gift card here at this time. Look for a gift card that really speaks to what she likes to do. Now, if you're not sure, there is a great new card on the market that has a variety of choices that goes with it. So there's a happy dining card, for example, and it's usable at a variety of restaurants. There's a happy beauty card that's usable at a couple of different places that fit within that category. So the nice thing is this year, when you're thinking about a gift card for mom, you really can pick up something that speaks to her needs without having to narrow in on one particular brand.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Well, happy cards, for example, those are available at giftcards.com. They're also available at all of the major grocery stores. Now, if that doesn't work for you, I'm also a fan of a custom Visa gift card, or given that Mother's Day is only a couple days away, you can actually get mom an e-gift card. Now, you might be saying to yourself, there's no way I'm sending my mom an electronic digital gift card. That could be too impersonal. But, for a couple years in a row, Mother's Day is one of our most popular e-gifting occasions. And I think people recognize that I got to get something. It's, if I'm not going to see mom, I got to send her something. And I have a trick for that.
All right.
I think that even the right words can make any gift card and even a digital gift card more personal. So if you're sending mom a digital gift card, which means you're not even going to see her and it's going to go straight to her phone, then make sure you add a personal message and it says something like, Mom, I really wish I could be there to celebrate this with you in person. Or, Mom, this reminds me of all the times you took me shopping while we were growing up. I can assure you that all a mom really, really wants on Mother's Day is to feel appreciated, and the right words can do that.
So this, when I go card shopping, which I seem to be doing every time a holiday comes up, which is like every week almost.
Right.
I spend a lot of time in the card section because I'm a fairly honest person, and I can't give somebody a card that says something that I don't feel, or vice versa, or doesn't say it enough, or I'm very, very picky. I might even go to a different store where they have a different card selection. I don't settle on flowery, normal stuff. So this gives you a way of customizing yourself and your words.
Sure. I mean, I think you're talking more about greeting cards right now.
Well, yes, but
and
I know, but I want to combine a greeting card and a gift together, and that's so I would still have to do something. But this way, I don't have to.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're right, because what you're thinking is, even if you get a gift card, you want to give it with something, right?
Yes.
And a greeting card is, I don't know what the statistics are, but it's at the very top of the list.
Well, you
know what?
It's almost like
you
have whatever you get, you got to do a card with it. Is my point, and this way you can customize your feelings and do it all in one.
Yeah, I mean, especially with a happy card, for example, like take the Happy Beauty card. You've already got the messages right there, and so a fairly simple Mother's Day card that says, "Hey, like I said, Mom, I'd really rather spend this with you," or "I feel like you're the most beautiful mom I've ever had." Just tie it in with the message of the greeting card.
Well, that's my point. Then I don't have to get a greeting card. You saved me that trip, and you saved me that thing that I go through. I go through hell with that thing. Okay, good. All right, I like that. I don't mind gift cards. People say gift cards are impersonal. They're not. If it's just like a Visa card, go get anything you want. I don't care what you get. That's one thing. But if you're choosing something that they have an interest in, and it's a specialty store or something like that, or a restaurant that they love, that's a nice thing. That shows that you know what they like. Yeah,
I'm going to make you the gift card boyfriend now, because absolutely, that's really one of my most important things to convey to people is I'm giving you a gift card. It kind of implies I know where you like to shop. I know the things you like to do. And really, I'm giving you the gift of an experience, right? You get to go do however you want to celebrate. This is what I'm allowing you to do, and that is a gift.
Do you know how many times people give me gifts and they go in a drawer, and then when I move, like 20 years later, I find that gift? Or I have to say, well, this is really wonderful with my teeth smiling, but I don't really want the thing. I'm giving you the freedom to go get whatever you want here within the confines of your passion. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, and oftentimes, let's say you are somebody that tries to return the gift, and then you're standing in the return line, and then they're telling you, well, we don't have a receipt, we can give you $6 for this, and it's just not that great of an experience.
Yeah, no, that's not very personal, actually. It kind of takes it away from that. Okay, so where do I get more information about these? This is a great idea. Where do I get more information about it?
So thank you for asking. At giftcards.com/happy, you can find all of the category cards that are available right now. Also, at all of the major grocery stores, you should find the happy cards. Some of them are like mixed in, like the happy dinings with all the dining cards, but in general, you'll see them all together in kind of a big display. And so you just pick through, look for brands that you like and that you think will work for Mom, and pick it up.
Excellent. Well, she's Shelley Hunter, the gift card girlfriend. You got to say it properly. It's girlfriend. It's great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Some interesting ideas. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I really do. I'm not kidding you. I'm serious. I really hope you do. I mean, seriously, I hope you do. Because the better day that you have, the better day that I have. Join me again on Monday. Tori Lagarde will be joining me. We're going to talk about everything under the sun, back and forth. It gets kind of nuts and crazy. I think you'll enjoy it. That's Monday. Until then, I wish you peace.